Welcome, Minneapolis junior, senior, high school fans to SubState tournament action, Class 3A. Tonight we are in Hays, Kansas to take on the Monarchs of Thomas More Prep Marion here in Class 3A. This is a Minneapolis being number 7 seed versus number 2 seed Hays TMP-Marian on the home floor of the Monarchs, as that's the way it always goes for sub-state openers. The lower seed goes to the higher seed's home court. The base entertaining facility or school for this sub-state tournament is Norton High School. Here it is, February 29th, leap day of leap year. Dale Leach and
Scott Osherman
here to welcome you to this broadcast tonight from Hays. It's been a while since we've been here to Hays, America, to the Monarchs home gym, probably 3 to 4 years. I think we came in and knocked them off.
They brightened it up a little bit. They have a new floor here.
Yeah, I can tell that.
The floor's new. It's I think the lighting is a little bit better than it used to be as well. It's, of course, the still same setup where you sit down on a hole.
Yeah.
But it is brighter than I remember.
Yeah.
So.
It's still, I've referred to it as the pit.
Yep.
The state architects and fire marshal tried to get the place closed down a few years ago, but they sunk some money into it, putting some exits up here on the north end so people could get out, because there was a fire trap with just the 2 exits on the south. And they probably redid the floor and made the lighting better in here at the same time, would be my guess. Nonetheless, we take on the number 2 Monarchs tonight in sub-state seed. And they are actually, I think, number 4 ranked in Class 3A. I was not able to find a whole lot of stats on them because they haven't published much, but I have found about 4 games worth of box scores, enough to get some kind of point averages for their main players. And their main player is number 21, and that will be Bitsum, 6'7". First name is Jared. He's a little bit more Slavette and faster than the last 6'7" kid we faced out of Russell.
They're decent. Now, they're the 2 ranked team in this sub-state, Dale, but it's interesting because the 1 ranked team has been beat twice by them.
Yes.
Norton is the number 1 seed in this bracket, but TMP beat Norton both times.
It's all the scheduling fault of the AD as far as I'm concerned, because they only had 19 games to go on when the seedings were determined, and Norton had 20 with 17 wins to Hays's have 16. Hays TMP lost to Manhattan High, Newton High, and I can't remember who else they lost to. Abilene.
At Abilene.
They won in overtime against Hutch Trinity last Thursday night. A game that I was quite surprised at the shock of the price. We're going to have National Anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise, remove your hats for sportsmanship prayer, followed by the TMP-Marian Pep Band and our national anthem. Lord God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together this evening in competition. We ask that all of those involved tonight may conduct themselves in a God-pleasing manner and show good sportsmanship despite the outcome. Lord, we thank you for the gifts and abilities you have blessed these athletes with. And we pray that they may use them to glorify you. We ask that all involved in tonight's game may be kept free of injuries, and that you will be with us as we leave this place tonight. All this we pray in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Good sized band over there for Thomas More Prep Monarchs.
Looking at their league, a lot of 2A schools in their league, Dale.
Yes.
A lot of 2A schools. So starting lineups here, TMP in their home white, Minneapolis in their traveling blue. So for Minneapolis, starting lineup, and TMP in just a second here.
Lion fans, are you ready? Monarch fans, are you ready?
So interesting as they get. That's kind of different where they ask both sets of fans. That's kind of cool. So starting lineups for Minneapolis. Number 4, a senior, 5'10", Gavin Rothenberger. For TMP, a 6'3" senior, Peyton Hoffman. For Minneapolis, number 5, 5'6" senior, Brandon Wolf. For TMP, a 6'2" senior, Chase Romey. For Minneapolis, number 12, a 6' junior, Jacob Johns. For TMP, senior, 6'7", Jared Vidsom. 6'7", big task there. For Minneapolis, a change tonight. Trayvon Thomas, a sophomore, 6' sophomore, starting out for Minneapolis. And for TMP, a 6' senior, Ryan Reuter. For Minneapolis, number 24, a 5'10" senior, Mikey Baker. And for TMP, a 5'11" senior, Jared Shoemaker. So 5 seniors, 5 starters for TMP. Only one does. They have 6 seniors on the squad. So a little change of for Minneapolis is Trayvon Thomas, the 6' sophomore, gets to start tonight in place of the 6'3" junior Jace McKinney.
Thomas More Prep's last game, last Thursday night against Trinity at Hutchinson. They won in overtime by 5, which kind of surprised me. Minneapolis, it kind of surprised me too. Minneapolis got blown away in Russell last Tuesday night. Let's hope the Lions can get going and the Monarchs remain in some kind of funk.
They come out to play tonight.
Number 21,
Vidsom
scored 30 at
TMP
Trinity.
Or at Trinity. Wow.
And
So
12 of those were free throws. 12 of 12.
wow. And the tip is up. Ooh. They both wanted to go early, so. And they get it. TMP gets the tip. The ball goes in the hands of Hoffman. Hoffman with the ball as he rolls around the right-hand side, goes to Shoemaker. Shoemaker will drive baseline, pulls it back out, gets it into Vidsom. Vidsom in the paint, shot up, and it's good. And Vidsom, a nice little move in there, gets the early points to start out with. Minneapolis, and they will pick up a press against us. They nearly forced the turnover. We will keep it in our hands. Baker with the basketball. Mikey will cross the timeline to set it up. Goes to the left-hand side. Gets it back to top to Rothenberger. Gavin at the top. See, we'll set it up here.
We're going to do a delay game.
So
looks like
Gavin pulls him out a little bit. So Gavin will drive in. And it's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Minneapolis. So Gavin drives the baseline, pulls it out, has nothing. Jacob Johns to inbounds underneath their own basket. They get it in to Gavin. Gavin is picked up now by Romey. Romey with the basketball. Gets it over to Brandon Wolf. Brandon at the top of the key. Pull this out. Interesting, Brandon rolls to the left-hand side. Goes back to Baker. Baker at the top. He'll pull it back out. Gets it back to Rothenberger. Just an interesting little mix here as Minneapolis pulls it around to try to delay it some.
Delay, get a nice open shot.
Rolls off the screen. Got to get rid of it. Gets it back to Mikey Baker. and they're gonna pull it back out. So, but you're gonna try to. I don't know if they're gonna try to force them into a. I'm not sure what they're doing here, Dale. So
that's a delay game for sure. We can't afford mistakes in the delay game.
That's a travel, and it's taken back, picked up by Brandon Wolf. Had multiple turnovers right there. Gets it back to Baker, Mikey Baker. So multiple turnovers on both sides. We'll pull it back out. Brandon Wolf on the outside will drive, gets it back to Rothenberger. Gavin, 2-0 here early at the 5:54 mark. We may be looking for the lowest scoring game in a while.
It's been a long time since I've seen a delay game.
He's Gavin. So there you go. Rolls the right-hand side. Back to Brandon. Brandon gets it back to Gavin. Gavin on the left-hand side. He's picked up tight at the top. The drive, pulls it back out. And drives again. Nice job by Gavin Rothenberger as he drives the baseline nicely there and gets the bucket. TMP will bring it down. Hoffman with the basketball. Hoffman's picked up by Mikey Baker. They get it over on the outside to Romy. Romy will drive, gets it back out, gets to the top and get into the hands of Reuter. Reuter tips it off and shot is up. No good. Rebound by Gavin Rothenberger. Gavin with the basketball gets it up to Baker. Baker gets it across to Brandon Wolf. Wolf crosses the timeline. Nice bounce pass to get it across. Brandon Wolf on the right-hand side. Pulls it back out, gets it to Baker. Baker will set this up.
We have 4 players lined up, basically stretched across the free throw line, extended.
Mikey Baker back to Brandon Wolf. Wolf with the basketball. Wolf will roll it around the left-hand side. Gets it back to Gavin Rothenberger. Rothenberger will pull it back around to set this up. Gavin gets to Brandon Wolf. Wolf with the basketball at the top. Crosses over, goes to the right-hand side. Gonna have to watch this because they are counting it close.
Sure,
Jacob Johns pulls it back out. And he'll drive. Brandon drives in, gets it to Trayvon Thomas in the paint, up and good. Nice job, Minneapolis, as they drop it down to Trayvon Thomas in the paint. 4-2, Minneapolis takes the first lead. Nice drop down pass, and they finish. Gets it over to the outside. They drop it down low, and it's a turnover right there. Back to Minneapolis, stolen away by Mikey Baker into the hands of Brandon Wolf. Wolf back to Baker on the right-hand side, back to Wolf. Wolf to set this up. He's picked up at the top by Reuter. Brandon will pull back, gets it back to Baker. Baker at the top of the key, rolls to the left-hand side. Gets it back to Gavin. Gavin is guarded tightly there by Hoffman. Drives down, pulls it down. He'll go all the way in and up, and he's fouled hard, but he's going to be fouled by Vitzman, and he will pick up his first personal.
2 free throws for Rothenberger.
Nice drive by Gavin to see that and kick it all the way in. First shot is up and good by Gavin Rothenberger. Second free throw attempt coming. Shot is up, and it's good as he makes them both. TMP gets it over in the hands of Shoemaker. Shoemaker back in the hands of Hoffman as they work it around. 3-point shot is up, and it is no good, and rebounded by TMP. And there's going to be a foul on the floor. Foul is on Jacob Johns, his first personal.
Fouls on the line, number 12, Jacob Johns.
6-2 Minneapolis, 2:48 remaining in the
Oh,
quarter.
Gavin, great job by Gavin Rothenberger as he tips the jump, tips the ball on the throw-in and gets the steal. Nice job by Gavin to get up in the air. Brandon Wolf guarded tightly there and gets down low to Gavin. Gavin up, and it's good. Nice job by Gavin Rothenberger as he gets up and out and grabs that ball, and a timeout's called by TMP Nice job by the Minneapolis Lions to start this out as they take the 8-2 lead early here in the first quarter, 2:30 left. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to SalinaPost.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 20. We'll be right back.
Well, come on.
See American Family Insurance agent Scott Osherman for all of your insurance coverage under one roof. The Scott Osherman Agency in Minneapolis, proudly supporting the Lions.
Eagle Communications, home of ECTV, high-speed internet, 910 KINA, and 99 KG Country, is a proud sponsor of tonight's hometown coverage of Lions sports. Listen to the Lions sports on SalinaPost.com.
Well, Dale,
Your Toro dealer in Minneapolis and Salina is All Seasons Power and Equipment. See Ronnie Robbins and his crew for great pricing and service for both new and used equipment as they back the Minneapolis High School Lions.
Go ahead, Scott.
Interesting start to this, this first round of SubState game as Minneapolis slows it down and really works on inside shots. We have
been very good with it.
and done a very nice job so far effectively. 8-2. We've yet to take anything outside of the inside the lane for a shot. 8-2. TMP has the basketball. Hoffman with the basketball. Hoffman gets it back to Shoemaker. Shoemaker will drive, pulls it back out, gets it back to to Romy. Romy back to Hoffman. Hoffman, right-hand side. They will drive in, gets it down low. Shot is up and good by Vitzman.
Anytime he gets the ball that low, it's probably going to be an automatic two.
Jacob Johns.
8-4.
Back to Thomas. Thomas. That's a very quick 10. And we turn the ball over. So that was a very, very quick 10. It was close though. 8-4 after the turnover. TMP has the basketball. They get it back into the hands of great job by Jacob Johns, and great job by Jacob Johns to get in there and force the turnover. Checking in is Brubaker and as well as McKinney, and for Creighton Renz for TMP.
8-4, 1:40 to go in the quarter.
They get it to Rothenberger. Rothenberger crosses the timeline. Gavin on the right-hand side. He's double-teamed. They get it back to Brubaker. Brubaker pulls it back out. Brandon Wolf will drive in. Gets it back out to Gavin Rothenberger. Nice job by Minneapolis to pull this out. Gavin will back it around, give it back to Brandon. Brandon, as they're going to try to trap him up top. It's interesting. They will look at that. They get it back to Gavin. Gavin pulls it back out to Brubaker, back to Wolf.
We're in no hurry to score, and we shouldn't be.
1 minute left here in the first, and there's a foul right there, and that should be on Vitzman. That'll be 2 on him, I believe.
Yes, I do think so.
And that is the case.
One of the keys here, I think the Lions probably looking for, is to get the Monarchs frustrated.
Yeah. TMP quickly brings in a 6'2" sophomore, Michael Lager, as they get Vitzman out. Wolf right there. Gets it back to Brubaker, back to Wolf. Wolf set this up, and he'll drive it all the way in. And in, and good, and it's, they call a charge. Oh, wow.
The basket.
Wow.
The ball went in the basket. Would like to have seen a count. 2 team fouls apiece.
That was an interesting call. Charge is the call. 8-4, 47 seconds left in the first quarter. TMP with the basketball. They get it back into the hands of Lager. Lager back to the outside. They look down low. Gets it back to Lager. Lager on the outside to Renz. Renz back to Shoemaker. Shoemaker, they take the outside shot. It's up and good by number 23. Reuter for 3.
It's 8-7.
They get to McKinney. Get it back to Brandon Wolf. Brandon Wolf across the timeline gets it back to Brubaker. Brubaker, and we're going to turn it over.
1.9 seconds remaining. McCulloch will come in.
McCulloch as well as Thomas check in for, and also Thomas.
They'll need to bring a three-quarters court.
They'll take the 3 shot, and it hits the
off the
other back
goal
so,
here.
so at the end of 1, Minneapolis holds on to a 1-point lead, 8-7 early here at the end of the first quarter. So we'll take a quick break. You're listening to SalinaPost.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 20. We'll be right back.
The Minneapolis Junior Senior High School Lionbackers are proud to continue their long-term support of the broadcast of these Lions games. Join us as we support student activities and the teachers of MJSHS. Go Lions! We're with you all the way.
City Pharmacy in downtown Minneapolis is proud to support the Lions of Minneapolis High School. Come visit Joe and Amber Wool for your pharmaceutical and home health equipment needs, along with gifts and greeting cards. While you're here, be sure to pick up some free vitamins for all your young Lions. We promote healthy kids and families.
Now it's time for some public service announcements from the Kansas State High School Activities Association. Your ticket to an athletic event is a privilege. A privilege to watch students learn on the playing court. Unruly behavior is unacceptable in the classroom, and the sports arena is a classroom. Good sportsmanship is a lesson to be learned by players and spectators. Remember, sportsmanship provides the human touch. Kansas State High School Activity Association and Eagle Communications Channel 20 encourage you to make sportsmanship a primary concern as you support your chosen team.
Welcome back to TMP High School, Hays, Kansas, as TMP will have the ball to start the second quarter. As they get it in Hoffman. Hoffman will get it down to, shot is up and good by number 33, Creighton Renz. So TMP picks back the lead 9-8.
They've outscored us 5-0.
Keep going, guys.
Actually,
and
7-0.
And we turn the ball over right there. As they will get it in the paint. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded by McKinney. Oh, they're going to call it over the back on McKinney. So McKinney's going to be whistled with the foul call. Checking in for TMP. Hayden Lowe checks in for TMP. They will get it in the hands of Renz. Renz with the basketball at the top of the key. Back to Lowe. Lowe back over here to Hoffman. Hoffman to set this one up. Hoffman will drive. Pulls it back. Nearly has it taken away. Pulls it back out. Gets it backward. Looks down low. Has nothing. Takes the shot up and it's good by Hayden Lowe with the field goal. Get it across to Minneapolis. McKinney back to Wolf. Wolf on the floor as well as McKinney. Baker, Rothenberger, McKinney, and Thomas. We'll get back to Baker. Baker to set this up. 11-8, TMP with the 3-point lead.
A 9-0 run for the Monarchs.
Baker will drive, gets it back out. Lazy pass picked up by Wolf, back to Brandon Wolf. Wolf with the basketball. Pulls it back out, drives, double team, gets it back to Baker. Baker will go to the left-hand side. Gets it back to Rothenberger. 6:08 left to go here in the second quarter. Rothenberger drives, pulls it back out. It's back to Wolf. Wolf with the basketball. Wolf will drive. He'll pull it out. Gets it back to Thomas. Thomas. And there's going to be a foul right there. They call timeout. Timeout called by Minneapolis. So.
5:42 remaining in the half. It's 11-8. Thomas more prep. Interesting. I didn't know how. I hadn't given a whole lot of thought actually how Minneapolis might attack.
You know, I didn't either.
The Monarchs.
I really
didn't really dream about a delay game, but it makes sense.
Slow it down a little bit and make them come out and limit their offensive touches, which limits their scoring. Yeah, I had not thought about that either. That's why you and I are announcing and not
Yes.
coaching. 5:42 left to go here in the second quarter. Minneapolis will have the ball. McCulloch in the ball game for Brubaker. So Baker with the basketball. Gets it back to Wolf. Wolf here on the right-hand side. High screen set. Wolf drives around, gets it back up, gets it into Thomas, and we turn it over. Why didn't you take that up? And he's going to drive all the way in, and they're going to count the basket. So Hayden Lowe gets the fast break after the turnover and gets fouled by Brandon Wolf. His second personal foul. Oh, no, they called on McCulloch. So Caden McCulloch whistled with the foul. 13-8. Shot is up, and it's good. Jacob Johns checks in. They will get to Jacob Johns. Try a trap there. Gets it back to Baker. Baker back to Brandon Wolf. Wolf gets it back over here to Baker. Baker was going to drive. Pulls it back out. Gets it across the Wolf. Back to Johns. Back it goes to Rothenberger. 4:56. 14-8. TMP with the lead. We've yet to score here in the second quarter. Nearly a carry right there. And there's going to be a foul right there on Shoemaker, his first. Third team foul. 14-8. 4:45 left to go in the second quarter. Minneapolis inbounds. They get it into Baker. Baker will cross the timeline. He's trapped. Pulls it back out. Gets it back to the top to Rothenberger. Back to Baker. All these in the corner. Well, Thomas. Back it goes to Baker. And a foul. You know where these officials are coming from. Foul is on. I did not see that at all. Jacob Johns, it's whistled on. Mikey Baker. I did not see that at all.
Fourth team foul. First on Baker.
Brubaker checks in for him. TMP with the basketball. Lowe pulls it up. Gets it back in the hands of Reuter. Reuter back to Lowe. Pulls it down. Goes back to Reuter. It's trapped there. Goes out to the outside. Swing pass over there to Lowe. He'll drive in. And he's going to travel with it. So turnover, we'll give it back to Minneapolis. Nice job on the defensive side. You can also tell that TMP really misses the presence of Vitzman. Now, they don't need him in there right now. They're up 14-8. But a lot of their offense runs through him. So get it back, get it across. And we turn it over. So
Rothenberger knocks it out of bounds to prevent the fast break.
Full court press is a little bit pestering for the Lions right now. 14-8, still looking for our first score here in the second quarter. They go back on the corner to Lowe. Lowe, three-point shot is up, and it's good by Ryan Reuter. That's his second one. He's a shooter from the outside. He's gotten two so far. Timeout's going to be called by Coach Darrow. It's a full timeout, so we will take one with them. You're listening to SalinaPost.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 20. Your voice of Minneapolis Lions. We'll be right back.
The Lions of Minneapolis High School are supported by the Davidson Agency of Delphus, Minneapolis, and Bennington. They have provided hometown service for the insurance needs of their customers for over 30 years for home, auto, small business, farm and crop, life, and health coverage. Call them today.
For 100 years, a Schooler Company has been the expert in marketing your agricultural products. Call and find out how Schooler can help you manage risk and maximize rewards. And go Lions.
Welcome back to Al Billinger Fieldhouse. The Lions trailing 17-8. They've been outscored 15-0 since about halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, we've we've had a few turnovers in there, Dale, that we've gotten it down low and kicked it back out, and so
we got what we wanted. We got 2 fouls on their big guy, the big 6'7" guy, early on. Got him out of the game. But we've not been able to capitalize too much on his absence.
So not sure what the officials are talking about. So Minneapolis had called a timeout. So
who the foul was on?
The last foul on the Lions was on number 12, Jacob Johns. That'll be his second.
well, when was that foul? So I'm not sure what that was on, but they will get it back. Minneapolis gets it to Baker. Baker crosses the timeline. And another turnover by Minneapolis. And they score easily as they get the fast break. There's going to be a foul right there on Romy. We have not been able to break their press effective. They are tall, they're lanky, and we've not been able to get it across. So,
4th team foul, first on Romy.
19-8. As you said, they're on a big run right here. Brubaker back to Wolf. What they do is they're trying to trap it once they get them across the half court. And in this case, triple team. Back it goes. Somebody's got to be open in this situation. Back to Brubaker, back to Wolf. They're going to pull it out and force us to go in. Wolf back to McCulloch. McCulloch back to Brubaker. Brubaker back to Wolf. Wolf will drive, gets it over to McCulloch. McCulloch back to Wolf. 2:28 left to go. We could really use a score right here, Dale. 19-8. McCulloch tightly guarded there, and there's going to be a foul on number 23, Ryan Reuter. I keep forgetting the Monarchs are Lions as well, aren't they? The Monarchs are Lions as well?
No, they're Buffaloes.
They're Buffaloes?
Yeah, Monarchs of the Plains.
Monarchs of the Plains, okay. Brandon Wolf with the basketball at the top, rolls around. Guarded there tightly, gets it back to Brubaker. Brubaker gets it back to McCulloch. McCulloch gets it back to Brubaker. Back to Wolf. He almost open in the corner. Gets it back to McCulloch. 19-8, 1:48 left to go here. Gets it back in the hands of McCulloch. McCulloch down low to Gavin Rothenberger, rebounded by Minneapolis. Kept alive into the hands of Thomas. Trayvon Thomas kept that alive there.
Thomas with the rebound and then was immediately triple teamed.
Back to Brubaker. Brubaker back to Wolf. Down low and the foul. Nice job, and that's going to be 2 on Ryan Reuter as Gavin Rothenberger will go to the line to shoot 2. Oh, they call that on 24. Well, he wasn't even close. I didn't even see him around there. So Gavin Rothenberger misses the first one. He'll have another one coming. Jace McKinney checks in for Thomas. Second shot is up, and it is good as he makes 1 of 2.
First point we've had since about halfway through the first quarter.
So
breaks a 17-0 run for the Monarchs.
TMP subs in Romy. Ball in the hands of Hoffman. Hoffman gets it back into the paint. They will roll it around, gets it down low. They will drive, kicks it back out. Stolen away by McKinney. Nice job by Chase McKinney with the steal. Back to Rothenberger. Gavin with the basketball. Back to Wolf. Wolf on the outside. Gets it back to Mikey Baker. Mikey gets it back to Brandon in the paint. Shot is up and off the glass, no good. Rebound by Gavin Rothenberger. Nice job by Gavin to get in there. Mikey put it high off the glass and couldn't get the fall. 35 seconds left. McKinney back to Wolf. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch, high screen. And they're going to call a charge.
He had his elbow out. That
He
was
did.
Very obvious. 21.6 seconds left in the half. 19-9, Monarchs.
21 seconds left. Minneapolis only scored 1 point so far in this quarter.
First
TMP.
foul on Rothenberger.
Gavin had a nice step and a nice drive, but as you said, he put the forearm out. 18 seconds left here in the first half. Minneapolis comes out tight on Hoffman. Pulls some of his dribble, gets it back to three-point shot up, and it's off the mark, no good, but rebounded by, picked up by Wolf. Nice job by Brandon Wolf, and he can't get the shot off, but that's going to end the quarter as TMP outscores us in that quarter by a score of 12-1. Not what you want to see, Dale, here in SubState action, but Minneapolis trailing at the half by 10, 19-9. We'll be back and with some stats. You're listening to SalinaPost.com as well as Eagle Communications Channel 20. Your voice of the Minneapolis Lions. We'll be right back.
American Family Insurance agent Scott.
Welcome back to Al Billinger Fieldhouse in Hayes, Kansas, on the campus of Thomas More Prep Marian High School. Dale Leach and Scott Osherman bringing you this action in Class 3A Substate quarterfinals. Number 7 seed Minneapolis versus the number 2 seed Monarchs of TMP. Number 4 ranked with 3A overall. Scott, interesting. The Lions, of course, we've discussed it already, have come out in the delay game. And things were going our way at the very beginning.
They really were.
The thing that amazed me quite a bit was that other than Vitsum, their 6'7" kid that ended up leaving halfway through the first quarter with 2 fouls. He was the only one hitting their shots in the beginning. Everybody else that they had was putting up shots was missing. And the Lions defense was forcing some turnovers, and we weren't missing shots on their end when we were getting to the basket. Everything was playing into our hands, and got to give credit to the Monarchs. They have stepped up big time with their defense, with the trapping the guy with the ball out here on the point that's running the delay offense, and on some also on the press. They've been getting some turnovers, and they started getting hot.
Yeah,
on their
and
shots.
I think you nailed it right there where they adjusted their defense. They double, it's not triple team sometimes at the once they cross the half court. If they see somebody pick up the ball, they're in their face.
Yeah. And they're taller enough than we are that's a very good ploy, because it's harder for a guy to see the 2 guys that are open because he's being guarded by 3 people.
Yep. At the end of the first quarter, Minneapolis had a 1-point lead, 8-7. They were up 8-2 at one point, but TMP had gone on a big run,
17-0,
to get to the point that before we finally got a free throw there in the second quarter. Run through some scoring real quick and stats here. For TMP, Vitsum had 4 points and really only played in the first quarter, and not even the entire first quarter. Did not see the second quarter. Ryan Reuter kind of came alive for them with 2 3-pointers, as well as a field goal. Leads with 8 points. Hayden Lowe with 5 points off the bench, and Creighton Renz with 2 points. They had 6 turnovers. They were 1 for 1 for the free throw line. For Minneapolis, scoring-wise, only 2 guys scored for us. Trayvon Thomas had 2 points, and then Gavin Rothenberger was 7, and he was 3 for 4 from the free throw line. 3 for 4 from the line for 75%. We had 5 turnovers. TMP had 6 turnovers. So, you know, Dale, we did a lot of things right. And it'll be interesting to see what Coach Darrow brings them out here in the second half and does. Trailing 19-9, it's a lot different look.
I would say since you started this way, you've gone this far, why change it? If you get into a back and forth run game with TMP, they're really going to blow it away. Unless they just really start to blow it away anyway, make it worse than it is. The good thing about this offense is that it really negates that 6'7" Vitztum. I mean, he's not all that probably effective in helping the trap and the guard against moving the ball like we were. Looks like Minneapolis will get the ball with the possession arrow to start the third quarter.
And we will get started here. Jacob Johns will inbounds for the Lions as we get ready to go. Looks like the starters are back out for both squads. And we will go. Jacob gets the ball in to Brandon Wolf. Wolf with the basketball. And they get it over to Mikey Baker. Mikey gets it across to Brandon Wolf and nearly steals it away, gets it back. Brandon will take the three. It's up and it's no good. Rebounded by Vitzum. Vitzum gets it back out here the other direction. And he's going to be fouled by, said he was
Thomas.
shooting. Trayvon Thomas with the foul.
Fouls on the line, number 21, Trayvon Thomas.
Brandon took the three-pointer, could not get it to fall. Free throw is up and no good by Hoffman. Second shot coming. No good, rebounded by Gavin. He had him over the back, no call, back the other direction. Brandon, and there's gonna be a foul on Hoffman. That's probably more of a frustration foul for missing 2 free throws. First foul in the second half. Brandon Wolf with the basketball. Crosses the timeline. Pulls it back out. Brandon will drive it in. Shot up, no good, and it's going to be tipped up, kept alive by TMP. They'll come back the other direction. TMP, swing pass backward to Hoffman for 3, up, and it's good. So, just like that, TMP gets a three-pointer to fall.
22-9.
Brandon Wolf crosses the timeline. Gets it back to Baker. Baker back to Wolf. Wolf will pull it out, and he'll try to pull him out. Gets it back to Rothenberger as they will pull it back out. Set this up in the corners. Back to Baker. Baker is now they will set to run the offense. Wolf with the basketball. Picks it up, gets it back to Baker. Baker, high screen set. Back to Wolf. 22-9, Minneapolis looking for their first points. We've had a couple shots. Brandon Wolf shot up and good. Nice job by Brandon Wolf as he gets the runner, to fall in the lane. He had one of those earlier, but they waved it off with a charge. 22-11.
That was really the last threat we had in the first half.
Yeah. Hoffman with the basketball. They get it to Vitzman. Vitzman on the outside. They will get it back. Pulls it back out. Swing pass backward to Hoffman. Hoffman gets it back as they will try to spread Minneapolis out a little bit. Back to Hoffman. Hoffman to Vitzman.
Try to give us a little bit of our own medicine.
And they will work it around. They will get it back to Vitzman. Vitzman with the basketball. Back to Reuter. Reuter had the hot hand for them in the first half. pulls up the dribble, gets it back to Hoffman, who hit a 3 earlier. Hoffman pulls it back out. 5-11 here in the second quarter. And like you said, Dale, they're giving us a little bit, it'll be one of the lowest scoring games that I can remember. So, oh, that's a try. Nice job by Minneapolis as they force the turnover after the block by Thomas. Brandon Wolf with the basketball. Gets it back to, missed a shot
just off.
Gets it back the other direction. And Reuter gets the nice little shot to fall. Baker back to Rothenberger, back to Wolf. And that's a kick there by Reuter. Checking in is McKinney. They would get to Baker. Baker will set it up 24-11. 4:20 left to go here in the third quarter. Baker with the basketball. Back to Rothenberger, back to McKinney. McKinney back to Baker. Back to Wolf. Wolf on the outside. Back to Rothenberger. Rothenberger pulls his guy all the way out, which is Vitzman. Back to Wolf for 3. It's off the mark and picked up by Reuter. Reuter will come back the other direction. Reuter gets it back to Vitzman. Vitzman here in the corner. Gets it back to Hoffman. Hoffman back to Vitzman. They will get it in. Oh.
Blocking foul call on Johns.
Wow.
That'll be number 3.
That's interesting. Jacob, I thought, had nice position there.
Fouls on line, number 12, Jacob Johns. His third.
At the line will be Shoemaker. And he misses the free throw. Checking in, they're going to leave Jacob in there. No, they don't.
McCulloch and Brubaker come in
Okay.
for Johns and Baker, I think.
Second shot is up, and he makes that one.
And for the Monarchs, number 33,
Creighton Renz checks in for TMP. Full court press picked up by the Monarchs. Brubaker back to McCulloch, into Wolf. Wolf will cross the timeline. Gets back to Brubaker, back to McCulloch, back to Brubaker. 3:27 left to go here in the third quarter. Wolf. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch here on the outside. High screen set. Gets it back down. No. Wow.
Traveling is called on McKinney while he's being mugged.
Traveling is the call. Turnover. And that's an interesting one. It will go back to Monarchs here after the turnover. It's back to nearly stolen away. Gets it back to Hoffman. Hoffman drive, gets it backward to Reuter. Reuter will set this up. Get to Hoffman. Hoffman. And there's going to be a foul. Should have been a foul down here on the other end, but they will definitely call the foul on our end. Foul's on Caden McCulloch.
Well, I think one difference there is
Just a second.
McKinney was going through the defender there, attempting to. And we fouled from the side on this one. Kind of a reach-in hack would be my interpretation.
Romy with the free throw. And misses that one. Rebounded by Gavin Rothenberger. How in the world is that not? That is interesting.
We tip it away, or they tip it away.
And they will get the fast break. Hoffman gets the bucket. Timeout's going to be called by Coach Darrow. So
30-second timeout. With that, they'll take time for another PSA for the Kansas State High School Activities Association.
join the TMP
Ethics, integrity, and respect are values important in our daily lives. All of these important values are learned by participation in interscholastic activity programs. During competition, they're translated into one word: sportsmanship. Sportsmanship is one of the strongest educational lessons and lifetime values taught by interscholastic activities. This is a public service message from your Kansas State High School Activity Association and Eagle Communications Channel 20 and SalinaPost.com.
Minneapolis will have the ball here. 2:27 left to go in the third quarter, 28-11. About said the first quarter because it's like a first quarter score-wise. Brandon Wolf will have the ball to set it up. Minneapolis looking to score only 2 points here in the quarter. McCulloch on the outside. McCulloch will dribble